grading, self-assessment, all those kind of things. So really relationships plays a lot into that. Are you all seeing this PowerPoint? Is it showing?
We're seeing your view from the PowerPoint, not the presentation part.
Yeah. Let me see if it'll share now. Is it showing now?
Now we see a long blue bar that says resume slideshow.
Yeah, I've tried that. I'm going to try this again.
There you go. That was it. Whatever happened.
Oh, okay.
And it went away.
Now we're going to try it. Now are you seeing it?
Yes.
Yay. Okay. Sorry. I've had my moments today too. What you said about your computer this morning, we had construction in the classroom next to me this summer. And I pretty much worked all summer. I worked July because I was teaching our welding and automotive teachers how to get their stuff online. And I had left on a Friday and the construction crew was still here. And when I came back Monday, I had no power. And they had shut off one of my transformers and it actually fried my school desktop computer. I was like, oh. So that's when you're asking for files. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to find those. So yeah, I get it. As I was saying earlier, with the work-based learning, you're going to have to be able to have really good relationships, especially with those industry partners, also with your sending schools, and then, working with your internships and placements. This year, whole nother beast. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work yet. My advisory committee, and this is what they, kind of recommend for you, is made up of administration and counseling. I have a parent and a student. I will tell you, my student, I make it my BPA president. I make that part of their duties. It is my BPA president so that they can present on all things BPA. And it just is a really good student to pick to put in the loop. I don't let my BPA president be anyone. They're usually at least a second-year student because they've already had to be in an officer in BPA before they can be my president officer. So they're a great person to put in. I usually include an instructor from my sending schools. I actually have some administrators, and actually I have a curriculum director at one of my sending schools too. I actually help her with grants quite a bit. And then I have a ton of industry partners. I have anywhere from, I have dentists, I have bank account managers, I have owners of graphic design companies. I have just a kind of a mix of all my career majors. I try to make sure everybody is represented in that. So the purpose of your advisory committee, because I know when I came from public education to career tech, I was like, what's an advisory committee? Why do I need that? I had no idea. And I know if you're coming from industry, there's probably a great chance that you're like, again, what is this? The whole purpose is they help you ensure quality and that your functions that you're teaching them, the things that you're teaching those students are the things they're going to need to be able to get placement within their industry or their company. They also maybe give me recommendations. I actually do that a lot, and I really try and adhere to what they tell me, and really help me focus where my curriculum is going to go with my students that are wanting to join the workforce. So they are actually, like I said, they're great partnerships. Sometimes they'll come in and speak about things. I've had them come in and talk about, believe it or not, student loans, checking, car loans, just things that you think are basic knowledge. They're not. Students aren't being taught that. And I actually have different loan officers that will come in and teach that. Sometimes they come in, especially if I have students competing in something BPA that's financial and it has to do with loans like entrepreneurship, something like that. And they'll actually come in and serve on the committee that grades them when they present and gives them ideas. They also look at their reports because the financial part of it, they give a lot of feedback. So, you know, you can use them in so many different ways. We do tours at some of them. Mix Group's great with doing tours. They also do virtual on the job training for me because they are in Tulsa. They do, like I said, send me sometimes graphics that need to be created. And then I have students work on that and we send him back. And then he gets the feedback from his customer on what they would like changed. So it really gives my students an idea of what it's like to be a graphic designer in the real world. So you really, you know, you use them for so many different purposes. So they advise you, they guide, they identify areas of growth or maybe where they would like you to grow. They give you advice on equipment. Like I said, when I went to Meeks Group, I'd actually wrote a grant and got a grant for some equipment I was going to purchase. And a lot of what they used was what I needed advice on. And he was great about saying, you know, this one may cost more, but for the volume you'll kick out and basically just for students to learn on, this one is actually the best deal. And, you know, I needed that because I didn't know until he explained. And plus, they would actually train me on those machines so I could train my students. And I would just create some things for him on Illustrator in return. So we kind of helped each other. Guest speakers, they're great for that. Tours, they give tours, mock interviews, field trips. They provide, like I said, sometimes they're a judging panel for me for my BPA students that are competing at state or at national level. They help with job shadowing. This year, that's gonna probably be more of the virtual situation. At least I know this semester. And on the job training and placement, typically those did lead most, I'm going to say probably 98% of the time, that would lead to an actual position where they were job training or on the job training. Now, it's a little different ball game. I do know that I've already done some kind of virtual on the job training, like I said, where I was the go-between with the Meeks person and he was the go-between with the customer service. And we already had students doing that. And that's probably what I'm going to have to rely on this year. Projects with them. We've done Mays County Leadership Academy. We've done all kinds of different things. Server space donation, LinkedIn. We've had Mid-America Technology Showcase. We've done industry tours with Cherokee Nation. We do community projects. And like I said, I've worked with McKee quite a bit, which is actually Little Debbie with their office personnel and several of my students, and we help them. It's actually a lot with Excel. So we've done training with them, just many different things that just getting them all to work together, it works out great for you. On the job training, internships, and placement. So your ultimate goal is basically for them to enter the workforce and be successful at it. Yes, you want it to pertain to the area of training that they're wanting, because again, if that's what they want, if that's their interest, they're going to do better at it than if it's something they just really don't have their heart into. Big time on communication and setup and follow up. For me, when I do actually do on the job training, my students have to go out and seek it. Sometimes I will seek it for them, especially if it's going to be virtual and they don't have means of transportation. But I have an entire booklet and I actually call and speak with that person and make sure that they're okay. They have to sign signatures. We email back and forth. We do phone calls. And then I actually go to that on the job training site and evaluate the student and speak with their supervisor there. So I really do get involved. I also have had students who were doing on the job training. I actually had one call me one day and she was having problem with the fax machine. And I talked her through some troubleshooting because nobody was in the office at that moment. And she had to get this fax sent by noon and she was having problems. So I talked her through that. That's also, to me, that's part of it. I'm still her teacher at that moment. Guidelines and procedures. I have an entire booklet with guidelines. I do have some forms that I'll show you all in just a little bit. My academic resource center, they actually get involved with us as well. And they do like word keys exams. They do career units. They help them with college entrance and scholarship workshops. They do mock interviews. I also, like my ARC, she helps mine do their resumes. She helps them set up their LinkedIn Learning professional social media accounts. She helps them link their Behance to it because these are things I've requested. She also, when it comes pretty close to BPA, like state, she talks to them about proper business dress and the way to speak, manners, just, basic things. But if you can get somebody to help you with that, that's fantastic. So we use our academic resource center as a help in that. Sending school partners. So of course, your sending school contacts, I have contacts with who teach what I do. So one of them would be like one of my sending schools. That teacher, she's fantastic. She actually gets a hold of me and says, what should I be teaching my students to prepare them to send them to you? So a lot of times I will have first year students that come in, but she's already got them to pass their career tech fundamentals of tech, and they already have their certification. She sends them with a copy, or she emails me a copy if they don't have it, and then I don't have to have them retake that. So that helps me a ton because that's 120 hours out of the way that they've already passed. So we really, I think that's just such a great relationship for the two of us together. And I know that when I was a high school teacher, my tech center was not my campus, it was the other one, but there were two different programs. One was like mine, and then one was just IT. And my students would go over and think that they wanted the IT one when they didn't. And, then they would want to enroll in that. That instructor would get a hold of me because I was on their advisor committee. And I said, no, he's mixed up. This is not the fit. I will talk with him. So just having a good relationship, I think, with especially those who teach some of the things that lead them to get to us is great because they will help you. Counselors the same way. They're really good about, not all of them. I have one that's not great, but that says a lot. I have a lot that are, and I can reach out to them for just about anything, and they're really great at helping me with that information or providing feedback, or they'll get a hold of me for feedback as well. Principals the same way. I actually, one of our sending schools, I grew up with him being one of the coaches under my dad. So needless to say, I've known him a long time. I still have a hard time not calling him coach in his last name. But he actually had a student that not at our campus, but at his school was being bullied really bad, cyberbullied. And he actually asked me to kind of assist them with some things. And then my director came in and I wasn't able to help with some things that he just wasn't able to gain access to. So I think just, the more we can all work together, especially in this lovely new 2020 COVID time, I think that's just, it just makes things go better for you, smoother and easier. We do have open house here. We haven't this time. They did a virtual one at one campus, but when my campus is so rural, 90% of them didn't have anything until we provided them with a laptop and a hotspot. So it just didn't work here. But we do have one in the spring as well. We do the same with our advisory members. And actually what we do is we do contact with them by phone, by email, by, multiple means. But we have one very formal meeting at night for our whole campus, which now it's usually in November, but now it's going to be like, we're hoping April. We don't know yet. But we bring them here and we give them a really nice meal. We let them tour the whole, we take them through a tour of the whole campus, and then we bring them into our program and really show them the equipment and the software we're working with, the kind of certifications we're doing, the way we train. We don't call it curriculum with them. We just tell them the things they're learning and what we're training them, and then get feedback from them. And they get to see, exactly what we have here, and they give recommendations, and we really listen to what they have to say. We do sending school workshops and training. So we've done 8th grade tours, 3rd grade tours. We also did a tech experience. And this year we were actually going to do it again on my campus. My campus was actually the first to start that. But again, that's derailed till hopefully next summer. But we actually pay our sending schools to be able, I think they get to send like 3 people from each one, and we pay them to even attend it. And what they do is they spend in each one of our programs, they spend an hour, and we have to do a project with them and let them really kind of get to know what we do, because I think that, you know, not all of them, but many of them think now that you send, you know, your students that can't pass to VOTech. And that's not really how it works, especially not in my program. I mean, I get the brighter students that know this is what they want to do. I get the high academic students. I have a wait list. I literally get those 4.0 students or honors on a 5-point scale. So there's still some of, and I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it in any derogatory way, older teachers that have been teaching a long time that still have the idea that if we can't get them to pass normal education, we're going to send them to, again, VOTech. This opens their eyes. When they get here and they get to, and we do it with all of them. I mean, the women have to go in and do some things in welding. They have to do some things in automotive and electric. When they get to see what we actually do in every one of our programs, they get it. It's quite an eye-opener for them. And it was something we tried, and we saw that it was just, we do pay them, like I said, for it to even come, because it matters that much for us, for them to really have a true understanding what they learned in these projects, and just to do something hands-on with our students and get to see that those students that are here, they're working, they're learning. So it's been a great thing too. And it's just something we did, and even provided, financial compensation to have them come here, as well as whoever's hosting it. We get paid as well. And it's just something that it's worth it for us, for them to get a real understanding of what we do here in every program. Not everything, just a little touch, but that little touch, it goes a long ways. So constant contact. When I say that, no, don't bother them to pieces, but just keep them updated. I mean, I don't want to have an email every day from somebody. I probably don't want one every week if it's just, here's an update. But we, as a minimum, contact in one form or another at least once a month. And I'm not going to lie, there's several of mine that they contact me and I contact them every week. Bless you. On different things. Career majors. So when I came into my program 11 years ago, it was like borderline getting shut down. She had like barely 7 students. They were literally in their 60s and 70s. They never touched their computers except to take a test. They did everything on a book. They actually, this is only 11 years ago, people. They had an actual 10 key that they used, not their computer. And they were, that teacher was like, I don't know why she retired. And actually, to be fair, she taught me typing when I was in high school. So she's been doing it a long time, but she's been doing it the same way a long time. So when I came in that next year, I got to make quite a bit of changes, but I had to keep the ones that were finishing up a career major that they were already enrolled in. I had to keep those, but I could add some. And that very first year, I added the office information specialist. We got rid of the 10 key typewriters. We went to using our computers. There was a lot of things that needed to change. And then during that year, my meetings with my industry, with my advisory committee, with my students, just learning from them what has been in their sending schools. We had to do better than their sending school to get them here. If we didn't provide at least what they did, why would they leave? And I really, at that point, had a better grasp and understanding of the career, crosswalks and what you had to teach in each career pathway. And mine's ever evolving. This will never end. I added several career majors. I took off several career majors that had not been enrolled in many, many years. I also just constantly look at what's working and what's not. Just 2 years ago, I found myself with students who would work ahead teaching animation, but it wasn't listed as a career major. But I actually was teaching that in app development. I actually had a national, well, I've had 4 national championships the last 4 years, besides last year that we didn't do it, but I had one going in app development as first. And I was already teaching it, but I wasn't offering that career major. So as I kind of took a step back and I looked at, oh my goodness, I'm already doing this. Why not just start offering it? Because the more I taught it, the more I saw more students were wanting it. And that is where it was going. And also just looking at the jobs available, what has, big needs to be filled and met in my area. So it's changed drastically from when I began here. We actually have quite a few graphic shops around now, and we have, and some are in Arkansas, but we have we have a casino and they do big time marketing, and they want these students to have Adobe. They want them to be able to do logo design, packaging design. I mean, there's so much to it. So it's a constant thing. I think you're always going to be, in my opinion, evolving and changing that, because life's constantly changing and evolving, especially with technology. I mean, it's always advancing. So it would be, I think, very obtuse for us to think that we could just keep the same career majors and never change them. Trust me, I know it's a lot of work. I do 7 at the same time. It is a lot of work, but those 7, I have students in every one of them, and I wouldn't take that away from any of them because the need is still there. Course framework. I know you guys are just learning this, and again, overwhelming. It has changed, and I love the changes you all have made, by the way, on that. They just kicked out a new, they've really kind of, for lack of a better term, trimmed the fat and gave you more options. So really look at those, and if you have a hard time understanding those, then ask somebody who can help you. I can help you. Anybody at Career Tech can help you. I know it's different than what you see with public education, but the better you understand it, the better you're going to be able to figure out what kind of courses you can offer in career majors in your classroom. So tons of different delivery methods. And right now we're definitely, Zoom. That's virtual. We're doing Google Classroom, lots of online learning. Moodle, there's office.com. There's just so many different ways you can teach. I hit a ton of everything. The best way to recruit and attracting high school students, from what I see, is former students or a student that's returning that you had the year before. They really help. And especially when they get the job, they get the placement, or they get the scholarship, they get into college, that is a great way to recruit them. My advisory and community members is another thing. They recommend that. And that's where at your sending schools, if you have the teacher that teaches some of the courses you might teach, like Fundamental of Tech, they may recommend, hey, you're great at this. Why don't you look at going and doing a half a day at, Tech for this? Administrators at the sending schools, same way, and instructors. We do sophomore tours. It's actually a huge thing. We do 8th grade tours. Ooh, I'm glad we're not having those this semester. Something happens to 8th graders. I think maybe they should go to jail. Middle school teachers need extra pay, people. We do tours. So on those tour days, I'm not going to lie, we learn nothing in this classroom, but the people touring learn a lot. So what we do is we get, the sending schools come in, we get about 15 students at a time, and we usually get them from 15 to 20 minutes at a time. We kind of lay out a lot of our equipment, explain it. We have students set up to show them some of the projects they're working on, and then we usually provide something hands-on that they can do as well. We do, maybe they may do some weed and picking from the cutter. I've had students actually draw into some of the programs. We have VR goggles. We have just a lot of different things that we give them the opportunity to kind of experience and touch for just a little while and ask questions. And when we do our surveys to see what is bringing them here with recruitment, it's way up there on the list. 8th graders, I think they just get out because they want to be here and go haywire. But the sophomores, I get many of them that I can remember speaking to on those tour days that were really interested in really asking the questions. So again, providing an actual hands-on right there, this is what they do, and seeing other students in there sharing their work and the things they're working on in projects, it's a great recruitment tool. BBA competitions, there's another thing. We have those videos that we show, and it is, like I said, it's capstones. I have my students a lot of times do capstones. My reporter has to take pictures and videos all year for BPA. There's a huge shared drive with all of that. And so when they have, and I usually pick the students who have went to state and nationals, and they have to make a video about their year in BPA. So then my students see that it's not just work, that there's a lot to it, that you get to go experience things, you get to meet new people, have experiences in places they never thought. Airplanes. I can't even tell you how many students has had their first airplane ride with me, but I can tell you I've got claw marks in my hand before. Just all the experiences, that all helps them. So we do campus activities, we do yearbooks in here, we do student appreciation days, and the biggest thing is you. I think if they see that your passion, when you explain to them the things that you teach in here, and your compassion, how you feel about your students, how you put them first, how you actually listen to your advisory members, how everything that you're focusing on is for their best interest, that is a relationship that if you build that, you know, even if that student starts derailing a little, you can pull them right back on the tracks. So to me, you are the very biggest thing. It all revolves around you. Those industry partnerships that you form, your advisory committee that you form a relationship with, your students, their parents, they all need to connect. Oh, now I'm going to actually share a couple of other things with you. Oh, let me get that out of there. Hang on just a second. Let's see. I have a couple of things that I'm going to show with you. All of this I have, Christy hopefully got it. If not, I'll resend. But like one of the things that with the work-based learning, we do a student self-evaluation and daily grade sheet. Now they can put this in, and yes, I give them points for turning it in. It's not a huge amount, but it does make them think, did I do this? Did I do all of it? I saw his and he did a great job, and maybe I didn't do as much as I should have done. And believe it or not, they start self-checking. So, and my students will tell you this, I'm very OCD. I push them out of their little comfort level, or maybe I shove, I don't know. But I make them stretch. When they say, this is my best today, then tomorrow I go, well, that was your best yesterday. Let me see your best today. So I push them to do better and better and better. And it gets to a point where, like, we do virtual yearbooks here. We do it every year. It's just something my students have worked on, and it takes a lot of them. They all have components. But a lot of my graphic design students, you know, at first I would be like, okay, I need you to change this. Let's look at this layout. I think this is in the guttering. Kind of look at how you've got your layout set out. Look at your kerning. I mean, all these things I would point out. I'm like, once you fix those, give it back to me. It got to the point, and now, you know, especially after I've had them for at least a half a year, when I walk over to grade, wait, I know there's something I need to change. Just give me a minute, I'm gonna do it. That's fantastic. And I'm like, well, works for me. And then I get over there and I have a whole different kind of work than I had 2 months before, because they're self-checking. So you may look at this and go, well, they're gonna say they're great at everything. They might in the beginning, but then it will start changing. They'll start seeing that, no, it's not always great. I have another, let me see. Sorry, I have a ton of things open, so I have to look at them all. Let me look at my windows. I think that's what I want. Let's see. So that's a daily. I also do a, let me go back up. Is that my daily? No, that's a self-check. Okay. So career majors. So I know I haven't updated this yet. I'm trying to get it to pull up, so it's taking a second. Okay, is it showing my Excel now? Is that showing the Excel? Nope. Oh, darn
Nope.
thing. Let me try again. We'll see. I got to stop that share. It's making me stop my shares and then reshare. Pain in the tush. So I told you, OCD and color code. I do it all. So what I do is I set down exactly what these are. I also give them another sheet that says, in fundamentals of tech, this is the test you'll take. In desktop publishing and graphic design, you're going to learn InDesign. In multimedia and image management techniques, you're going to learn Photoshop. In digital editing and production photography, it depends. If you are going to want more of the photography in, you're going to get Photoshop Lightroom. If you're going to want to learn how to do the audio, you might get Premiere. If you're going to want to learn on some graphics and video, you might get After Effects. I kind of really just put it down for each one of them. So this is what I go over with them. This is how I set my stuff up. Then, and I'm going to see if it'll let me do it again. Oof, I have to screen share every time. Darn thing. Let me get this to pull up, maybe. It's another Excel file, so I'm waiting. So what I do for me, what helps me, let me give you this one now that it's pulled up. Okay. When I sit down and do a plan with them, I literally go through and we talk about how many hours, when they're going to start this, when it's going to be done, what grade they got, how many hours did they complete. I do this with everything with them. So they get one of these plans, then they have to sign it. This is how they get their end grade on everything. So I know it looks like, oh, lots of work, but honestly, it doesn't take long now that I have it set up. I can just go in and plug everything in that I need to have plugged in. Let me look. I think I have one more thing.
So if they've had Fund of Tech then at the high school level and they bring you their certification for whatever you're looking for.
As long as it's less than 3 years old, they've got it. We can go on to the next thing.
Does it matter which certification to you, or do you?
As long as it's one of the accepted ones by you all, I either want it to be Certiport, Now Talent Central, or the Career Tech. When I do it, they have those three options. When it's from the high school, it's got to be Certiport or you guys, it's Career Tech. I don't take the, at that time, Brain Bench or, Talent Central. I don't know with Talent Central yet, actually. We'll see. I haven't done anything. I mean, I've set up a course, but I haven't actually went in and taken a test yet. I'm going to. I added myself as one to see kind of what they see and how it works. But
I'm curious to know what you think about it too.
Well, so far I've set it up by career majors and I'm actually loving it, except for the fact that I can't just say like, I give them a opening session. Here's the link, because they all get their own individual. But so far it's really been pretty user friendly for me on my side. And I'm actually setting myself up as a dummy account to a student so that I can go through and see what they see. Because when I give them directions, I literally have screenshots so they can see what to do. Again, OCD. But it helps. I don't have a lot of questions when I'm done. So far, so good. It was pretty simple and quick to do. Was not bad. But like I said, I haven't taken any tests yet. I just kind of got my career majors set up. So I'm going to go in and see how it works. But I think the biggest thing is relationships. Build them, have plans, and make sure your students understand. Sometimes they don't get what they're supposed to do. So that's why, kind of like I said, on my Moodle, they may have 5 different courses they have to take this year, but they do the first course, and when they pass that first course, I give them access to the second course, because if not, they're going to jump all over the place. And, don't invent the wheel. Ask somebody, anybody. We will all share. To me, it's all about the kids, so I don't know why we wouldn't. So if you ever need something or to see if I have something that could help and would share, feel free to reach out. And I definitely, I will share any kind of resource I have, and you can make it your own. I have a huge file that I will eventually get to Christy. I hope I did earlier. I don't know yet. But it has a bunch of different things. Everything I've shown you, it's all in there. So you can access it. You can pull it all up. It is all there. I have tons of other things too. So you just kind of got to ask. Some things I have more of and others I don't. But if it's financial, I have very little because I don't do a lot with that in my career majors anymore. But everything else, I probably have it. That's about it. I think it's right at your time. You're pretty close. Anybody have questions? Nope.
I want to encourage you, coming from the high school, I know that my kids fit into Pontotoc Technology Center. And as a high school teacher, now I said this in a group of high school teachers, and I had one go, I'm not intimidated, but I can tell you, a lot of the high school teachers that I have talked to, we have been intimidated by tech center teachers because you guys, you have it together. I've always felt like I was flying by the seat of my pants with 7 classrooms, 45 minutes at a time, and I never felt like I lived up to what our tech center people did. But then once I came here and I got acquainted with, it took me coming to Stillwater before I got acquainted with the teacher at Pontotoc Technology Center. So I would encourage you to be the person that reaches out to your sending schools, because it's possible that they're going to be intimidated by you. And if you break that barrier for them, you can totally build a great relationship with them. And I just never felt like I could, because I just always thought, oh, Roberta is going to think I'm a crazy person. I don't know what I'm doing. But really, she would have been a big support for me, and I just didn't know it. So reach out to your sending schools, because you don't have anything else to do whenever you have time.
Again, make them part of your advisory committee, or even ask them if they would like to be a part of it. That's a way to pull them in. And that's actually the one teacher that really works great with me. That was how I first got her pulled in, was, hey, would you like to be on this? She's like, really? And I said, yeah. And that's when I was asking for her actual feedback. She's like, you really want to? I was like, yes. What can I do to help you? She's like, well, what can I do? So we really started working together, and that has helped our students. That sending school, I feel like they come into me way ahead of the game, and it makes life easier on them, me, and her. Because if they pass something in my course, then they can take it back to her as well. She's like, yes, you got a national certification, where with me, we can't afford Certiport. So you can only get, the Talent Central, or at that time, the Brain Bench. And she's like, and the fact that your teacher sent you with a copy of that, then now I get to put that in too. So like I said, it just kind of goes both ways. The better you can work with everyone, I think it's just going to make your life easier. You have so many more resources, and working together is a lot easier than working by yourself.
For sure. Well, does anybody have any other questions before we jet out of here? Okay. We are going to, if you want to leave this room, it will take you back to the main room. I will give you, if you need a few minute break, then we'll start back at 1 o'clock. Or if everybody's back, then we'll just start the wrap up and do a review. So if you need to does anybody need to take a break before you head out of here, so I'll know to be watching for you?
Well, I'm heading out. But
Well,
if you didn't get the files, just send me another email and I'll try again.
Okay,
I might send them one at a time if I have to.
No, it's all good. I think they all popped up for me.
Awesome. Good deal. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Bye.
Okay, bye, you guys. Go ahead and head back over to the main room, and we can wrap up quick.
stuck in the dumb days. Don't take much to memorize your life. I feel like I've been hypnotized. When there in that magic man, he come to town. Woo-wee, he don't spun my head around. He said recession's obsession, do it to me. And now, baby, oh, I'm alive. Right now, I'm alive. And if you ask me, son, but y'all been rocking when I'm done. Your son is very skilled. Thanks. Show's yours.
Okay, everybody, welcome back from your sessions. I hope you got lots of great information and made some contacts, got some names of other teachers that were in the room with you. We're gonna go over a few things and then we're gonna play a game. Carrie brought it to my attention that we needed to talk about Adobe Max. That's a big deal. Adobe Max is a huge conference. If you don't already know about it, I was hoping to get to go this year and then COVID, dang it. All things Adobe, it's free registration this year. It's from, let's see, October 20th to 22nd. You can go into that link that I put in the chat box and register, set up your classes that you want to take or the sessions that are available. The next link that I put in the chat box, I think we put it in there this morning, but I wanted to make sure that you had it so that you could register for September 15th, the continuing Teacher Academy Day for that. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Are we good? Are you all half asleep because you've been staring at a screen all day? You don't see the links. Let me try it again then. It may have. There's that one. And there's that one. Is that better? Do you see those, LaDonna? Good, good deal. Okay. Okay, so on day 1 and day 2, we played some review games. If you are familiar with Kahoot, we used that one day. The other one was Quizlet. Today, we are venturing out of my comfort zone and we are using Quizlet. No, quizzes. But each one of these you can use with your students. I'm going to get this started. I'm going to share my screen. We'll see how well I can make this happen. Maybe. And I think I just saw something in the chat box. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Okay, you will need to, I'm kind of learning this with you. This is not one that I had ever used in my classroom. I used it last summer. You will need to go to joinmyquiz.com. You can either join on your cell phone or on an iPad or there in on your computer. And you'll want to enter the game code 95217. Krista beat everybody joining. I kind of want to do it too. I'm afraid I might not win though. Now I want to know, just from my understanding of this game, when you put your name in, did it let you choose your little icon or your little emoji thing? Or does it choose it for you?
It chooses it for you, but like on my name, I was able to add like the little emoji next to my name.
Very good. Oh, I like yours. Well, sloth. So we had, how many teachers did we have in here today? Kathy, do you know?
We'll have to look and see if I can.
What was it? Joinmyquiz.com?
Yes, joinmyquiz.com. Are you able to see that on the screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Good, good, okay.
And my Wi-Fi is going a little bit slow, so stick with me. I'm almost there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be able to do this because we're updating like hundreds of school laptops for our kids, and our bandwidth is dead, and they've got everything blocked. So
that's okay.
I can't log into this.
I totally
Same
understand.
with me.
It's not
Same with
apathy.
Lisa
It's like
Roberts from
can't. Okay.
Southmore.
Okay. No worries. Y'all can watch. If you've never used quizzes, then you'll see kind of what it's about. That's really the whole point, is just to give y'all some ideas of how to review some different things with your students. But then we'll review some of the things that we've gone over today. Okay, I have 19 people in, and I know that there are probably 7 of us that cannot.
What was the code?
950217.
Okay.
And on things like this, if you haven't already been in the classroom for a little while, you probably want to preface this with, make sure that your name is classroom friendly. You know, teenagers. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Is everybody ready, or is there anyone still lagging? Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, you guys, I really do not know what you're seeing because this is all new to me. I thought I could see it. Is it something that we're ready to end and to go over the questions, or are you still working through it?
The
Get it.
progress
I'm
across the
on, but I can't
will be
press
finished.
anything.
The progress bar across the top will be finished, and it'll log out and let you know when everybody finishes it up and it's all done.
Oh, perfect. Now I know we're waiting on some that have logged in. Whoops.
You have the ability to kick anybody out that's not actively working.
Okay. Because I know some of you have lost connection and some of you, sorry, you're going to see this, sorry. And some of you are having to sit in the classroom, and I totally get it. It's okay.
And then for us, what we're seeing is it's popping up on our device. It's
Okay.
not like Kahoot where everything's going all at once. We see it individually, and then we just see how we're doing by the leaderboard that's on your screen.
Interesting. That's very cool.
My kids loved this way more than Kahoot or Quizlet.
Very cool. Well, it's very now. I think my kids would like it. So will the green bar go then all the way across? Is that?
The green, yeah, it'll all finish up and tell you. The green bar tells you kind of the percent of right to wrong answers. And it
Okay.
tells you, like, if this was a test right now, that the average score would be 75.
Awesome. Okay. And then when we're done and it ends up, we can go through the questions. Is that correct?
Yeah, and it should, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it should come up like with a final leaderboard to tell you where everybody is at.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
I haven't played it since, about late February, so.
Right. LaDonna, this is actually not Career Tech. This is just quizzes.com, and it is for anyone. So there are several different games that you can use to review with your students, and this is just one of them. I know, isn't that exciting?
Is it free?
It is free, yes.
Yay.
Kahoot, Quizlet, and Quizzes, all free.
It's free, and you also can just type in whatever subject matter, or if there's a particular book that you're using, sometimes it'll have chapters out of that book. It'll have tests or quizzes that other teachers have already made up from the same instructional material that you already have.
That's awesome.
And you can look up other quizzes. Like if you don't want to type all your own quizzes, you can look up other quizzes and import their questions into your quiz.
Awesome.
Okay, so why, Nicole, my quiz is whiz. Oh, it's done. Hey,
I
look
told
at
you
us.
it'd pop up.
Matt, first place, good job. Katie June and Holly A. I love it. You guys rock. That was so fun. Okay, so now how do I get to
Christy,
my
I was going to tell you really quickly, if you didn't play it in the game, it also offers the kids like redemption questions that they can go back if they missed it, and they can get points back.
Very cool. Very good. Now, if I go up here to review questions, Nicole, is that where we will look at the questions together?
Yeah, or you can hover over down here in your little thing. It should be able, like if you hover, there you go.
Okay. So we had 13 incorrect on this one. What is the Career Tech LMS? Who can tell me what it is?
Google Classroom.
Oh, so close. That may be what you use at your school, but for Career Tech, when you want to go find resources for us or from us, you will go to CTU. It's a Moodle-based program.
That's
Well,
what I
that's-
put originally, but it marked it incorrect, and it marked Google Classroom as correct.
Oh, it did?
That's what
Okay.
I use, Christy.
Sorry about that.
That's what it did for me.
Okay, well, I'm going to blame this on someone else. I won't tell you who did it. But I bet that was just the second, that was just the natural choice because of, sorry about that, you guys. It is CTU. Well, I'm glad to know that y'all chose that first.
Can we have a do-over?
Hey, you just win. That's it. You just win.
I wish it. I used Google Classroom at the previous school I was at, so I'm really familiar with it.
Oh, yeah. What do you use now?
This is what I'll be. Well, I mean,
Google Classroom?
CT. I would like to, but I think we're going to be using CTU, right? So, I mean, that's my understanding. So,
Well, you can, for the learning management system, as long as you are using one, we do not care which one you use. If for some reason you did not have one to use, we offer CTU for you to use in your classroom. But if your school is a Google Classroom school, absolutely use Google Classroom. CTU is just where we list resources for you. We can set up a course for you under your school name with your name next to it to provide you some resources for those classrooms. And then you can take those resources and import them into Classroom or Canvas or whatever it is you're using. So
How can we
CTU
get
is,
that done? How do we get that done?
okay, you come to the right place. If you still do not have a CTU user, you'll need to go to ctu.org and set up a user. And once you've done that, let us know and we can set up classes for you and get some resources for you. And I did send Kathy a message for you.
I already have that done.
Awesome. Well, we'll get you set up then today after this, or Kathy, she's kind of my MC right now, where she's running the show. So normally she's my person that would make sure you're in CTU. So we will get you in there with some classroom and resources after our sessions are over.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Tomorrow, I do think you're in there, but I'll double check.
Yes, ma'am, I'm in there, but the way she's talking about getting your classroom set up for, like, I teach 3 classes. So I would like, if there is a way to create a classroom, like curriculum type of deal, I would like to do that.
Okay, using it as your LMS, is that what you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll
Jamar,
talk about
can
that.
could I tell something to Jamar? I was there last year at Duncan. This is Connie.
Yes.
He has online, that's the CEV online curriculum that he can pull up. And I had it for 100 students and we didn't use it for all the 100 students. And that has got some awesome lesson plans and tells you exactly what to do, gives you all the videos and I put all of it in Classroom, and the kids just clicked on the Classroom, and then they could see the video, and then they would answer the questions, and then it would also grade it and just give it back to me.
Connie, can you shoot me an email at the jamar.lockhart@duncanps.org so I can correspond with you after this?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Great. We found Jamar a mentor teacher. Honey, you may be a new teacher, but we may have to grab onto you.
Well, I'm good at some stuff, and I need to know a whole lot of stuff. So you can pick my brain for what I know.
We'll work together.
Okay,
She's
that's
going
awesome.
great this year.
Okay, so the next question is, what is the free career planning tool? Who knows this one? It looks like almost everybody got it right. I can't see a chat box or anything. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oklahoma Career Guide.
Yes, OK Career Guide. OKCareerGuide.org. It's great. It has great resources. You can use it for your ICAP. It's free. And we have great training here in the Career Tech offices. We can have someone work with you to learn how to use OK Career Guide if you have questions. Next question, list of criteria for grading projects.
Rubric.
Thank you. Thank you for answering. List of courses in a career path.
Program of study.
Correct. Y'all are testing me because I can't see answers. List of courses for an individual student.
Plan of study.
Plan of study. Which courses get computer credit for college?
The Oklahoma's Promise.
Yes, Oklahoma's Promise. So when you are getting your courses set for the year, I know for me, every year, even though I would teach the same classes, I would always go back to the counselor and just make sure that they had the course codes as 8,000 level courses. Because sometimes when they're going through, I'm sure the Department of Ed, however they pull up the courses, they will just automatically pull up the first maybe basic computer course for fundamentals of tech. And so then it's not the correct OCAS code. And we want to make sure that our courses that you're teaching are the 8,000 level courses so that they can be, so that Oklahoma's Promise is in some of those. I don't think I'm making sense. Okay.
It's for the Oklahoma Promise. They have to use the 8,000 for sure.
Yes.
High schools use 8,000. The tech centers are going to be using 9,000 unless they need the Oklahoma Promise credit. Then they have to record it as an 8,000.
Thank you, Jackie. Number 7, list of competencies and resources.
Crosswalk.
List of competencies and resources. Yes, your crosswalk, it's just almost a mirror image of your syllabus, and it lists all your competencies out. You want to make sure that you have all of your information, how you're covering each competency, and you put that in your crosswalk, and that way you're covering everything on that syllabus. Number 8, scholarship available for teachers for additional coursework.
Lottery fund.
Lottery fund scholarship. Absolutely. Yearly grant available for additional technology needs.
Lottery grant.
Very good. Who's the BMITE administrative assistant that you're getting all the emails from?
Pamela Porter.
Yeah, Pamela Porter. Good job, you guys. What does ODCTE stand for?
Oklahoma Department of Career and Technology Education.
Yes, thank you so much. Two of those look almost identical. So yes, you guys did great. Thank you for playing. Hopefully that gave you an idea of some of the different review things you can do.
So question about quizzes. Can you store a quiz to be able to reuse later with clean data?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
I don't know if Jackie could answer this last question from LaDonna in the chat box.
Yeah, I just said, I know she was mentioning that things would not work together into Canvas, but if you're asking, can you use CTU in Canvas, the answer is probably no. That you're going to have your Canvas all set up, and then if we save a developed course in CTU for you, then you should be able to copy that and place it into whatever LMS, and if it's Canvas, into that. But I don't think they're going to work together at the same time.
Okay, I was told that ICEV, more so than CTU, would not be able to work together with Canvas. So, and that was from another BMITE teacher.
Okay, yes. I would check with ICEV then, work with them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that too. There's like 3 levels. There's actually linking 2 systems together or embedding one within another. And there's also kind of bulk transferring the content from one to another. And then there's just copy paste 1 page at a time from one to the other.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we copy and paste 1 page at a time, basically.
Probably so, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, I am going to put a SurveyMonkey into, well, let me see if I can get this done right, into the chat box. This is if you do not have a mentor. Some of you may have already been given one through your school district, but if you would like a career tech, BMITE mentor teacher, we would love to match you with someone. We always try to get you someone that's in your area, but that's not always possible. Some of our schools are, way out east or west, and we just have to find someone that maybe teaches something similar. So if you will go out to the SurveyMonkey, whether you need one or not, and let us know, hey, I was here today, yes, I need one, or no, I don't. And that will be your exit ticket, I guess. If you have any other questions, us on staff will be here we'll kind of hang out for a few minutes and answer questions or try to help you however we can. We're so glad you're here. I wish we were in person because it just makes it so much more fun to get to know you. So when we are in person eventually, when you see us at conference, you're gonna have to reach out and slap us or something and say, hey, I was in your new teacher academy. Let us know who you are because we might not recognize faces. We will recognize names. Tina, you're stuck with me. I will forever know you. I had her babies when they were in junior high. Isn't that exciting?
I do have a question. I had to step out for a little bit earlier during some of the requirements this morning. The 412 report is the what we spent last year, basically, report, right?
Yes.
So I'm new to the school, but the program is existing. Do I need to go try to find the old information from last year and send that along?
Yes, and a lot of times, once you have a person that sends it, if you have more than one career tech program in your school, if you have a family and consumer science or ag division, something, there will be one person that when you finally get in touch with them, they'll say, oh yeah, I already sent that. So you just double check with me. I saw that face.
Yeah, they're not here anymore, so.
Okay, so once you find that person, you can say, hey, this has to go for every division. So we are just the ones that take, Pamela is the one that takes the 412 report for us for BMITE. So.
Tracy, where are you at?
I'm at Washington High School in Tulsa.
Okay, that probably more than likely William Aller is going to have all of those reports for all of the Tulsa schools.
Okay.
And he will send those to us. Same thing with Oklahoma City. They usually send that all to us. Now the
Okay, I'll check
smaller
with them.
schools or more independent schools, they may have to go ahead and individually talk to their bookkeepers or accountants to have them send the report to them, and then they send it to us. But usually Tulsa and Oklahoma City have those reports sent to us.
Great, thanks.
Well, once you have completed the survey, y'all are free to go. Enjoy the rest, try to enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you have students, sorry. Tell them we said hi.
It's good to see you all today. Can't wait till we can see you in person.
Where's the survey at again?
Where's the what?
Where's that survey at again?
It's in the group chat. You may have to scroll up. I can drop it in there again here in just a second.
I got a Kathy question before everybody blows out because I'll forget to do it later.
Yes.
Hey, I did and Paxton's not here. I'd ask her too. I did like several, 8 or 9, 7, I don't remember, classes in that DECA thing, you know, the national one, and they were supposed to send out some kind of PD confirmations that I've had trouble getting. You have any insight in how to pursue that? I don't even know that I'm ever going to need that stuff. It seems to be PD's dropping out of the sky on me, whether I look for it or not. But that's okay. I need it. Yeah. Congratulations, by the way. I didn't get that.
Thank you.
So if you have any insights on that DECA thing, and it was a really good conference, but it's kind of like I wouldn't mind letting somebody know I actually went to it just for kicks.
Yes. I think you may just need to email Paxton. Do you know Christy or Jackie?
Have you emailed Paxton?
No, I haven't.
I
I've
would
been trying
check
to
with.
I was trying to deal with the DECA national people, and they got bigger fish on their plate than me, so, which is fine. I'm used to that. Okay, I'll take a shot at her.
How long ago was it?
That conference was like 3 weeks ago, I think.
You talking about Summit?
Yeah, it was the DECA one that came like late August, I think. It was a DECA national thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby. Look at that baby.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right, y'all have moved on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Paxton.
I realize when nobody's talking to me anymore. All right.
Sorry, David, a baby came in the picture.
Sorry, I saved the distraction for the end.
I'm done now. Have a great time. Cool stuff. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure. Oh, Katie. Oh my goodness. So
This is Jeffrey, and then my daughter Jade's peeking in too.
Jace?
Jade.
Jade, what do you think of this new baby?
Good.
Are you changing diapers?
No.
No. I don't blame you. I wouldn't either.
Mom keeps the diapers.
Oh, well, that's good.
Use your big girl voice, not your baby voice. I just thought I'd let him say hi before we logged off today.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. Oh, are you getting sleep at all?
He sleeps in about 2-hour chunks. So I get about 90 minutes and then I'm up again. So I will be back in the classroom on October 1st. I will do the best I can to get all the reports in. I've sent an email already about our 412 report, and I shouldn't have any problem doing the teaching and learning report from home. But I just wanted to give you the heads up that I will be home through October 1st.
Sounds good. If your sub needs anything, make sure him or her has my email address or phone number.
And I did have a quick question. Since I went to the 2 days last year, after today and then the BPA update, am I officially check marked done?
You are done. Stick a fork in you.
Because I'm like the September 15th meeting I could probably make because I'm still going to be home, but I'm not sure yet what the spring will hold.
You're golden. No.
All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. Have a great
It's
afternoon.
good to see you. Wesley, what do you mean can you get your check mark? We're going to make you attend 2 or 3 more days. It's been 3 years doing this. You're cracking me up. So you, as long as you're done, I mean, you were at the 2 continuing days last year, right? During the school year. Okay. I feel like I'm talking in code to my children. So you attended those days and you've attended the 3. You're golden too. Look at you. You're done with me. Crazy man. It's been good hanging out with you.
Good job, Wesley.
I guess I can say I finally made it.
You did. Oh, Lucas lost audio. And I think we lost him actually.
Oh, I thought you said Luca. I was gonna say he's at home, right asleep.
Nope, you're golden. You're good. Have you already filled out? Did you need a mentor teacher or did you already have one?
I had a mentor teacher my first year.
Well, if you want one for career tech, make sure, well, either way, fill out that form and let us know.
No, Paxton was mine when I first started, like 3 years ago.
Really? Oh, wow. Interesting.
Okay, though.
Glad you joined us today.
I wonder, Wesley, if you're talking about Paxton was your regional
specialist. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of mentor teacher.
I know she came and checked on me quite a bit. Like, it was almost like once a month, so.
Causing trouble, huh?
Well, I wasn't in trouble.
Just kidding.
That's all right, though.
Right. It's good to see you.
Dude, I'll take care.
Did you get your survey filled out? Did you need anything?
Is that for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just found the link I needed. I'm still trying to fill out the attendance form for Summit and getting those hours in, but I think I just found it.
Oh, good. But you did find the survey link.
Yeah, I've done the Survey Monkey. I just wanted to see about that while I still had
Okay.
people handy.
Yeah, I just saw your message, Krista. And so you did find the link for Next Thought. Is that what you're saying? To get back into Next Thought to fill out your PD hours?
Well, I've got the Microsoft form open. I was scrolling through it to make sure I had the right document that I needed, but it says list all your hours from day 1 and day 2. So I think it's the right one. Now I just have to go back through my notes and find all those session titles.
Yeah, that's for Oklahoma Summit. And if you need a copy of it, make sure you right click and print before you submit it.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Krista.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Lucas, you got sound? Maybe, maybe not. I know Lisa was struggling because
she's in class.
Yeah.
And Jerry, she might be in class, or is there anything you need, Jerry?
Lucas, have you filled out the survey for mentorship yet? Poor Lucas, you're having a day like we've had. Crystal said that she was having computer difficulties today too before she got in here. Oh, one of her computers or something got fried in something.
Lucas has typed in the chat. He says his microphone's not working, and does he just need to fill it out only if he needs a mentor, or does he need to fill it out?
I would like for you to go ahead and fill it out either way. So you can tell us, yes, I need a, you already have one? Okay, so if you'll fill out the survey and just tell me that, that's perfect. Thanks for joining us today. And Kathy, what I could do is I can email Jerry and Lisa that link for them. And that way we could go ahead and close out, or once Lucas, oh yes, let me see if I've got it here. There we go. There you go.
Okay.
And Jerry McCauley.
All right. If you have what you need, Christy, I think
I
that's
do.
the meeting.
Yep.
Okay.
Lucas, did that work for you?
Yeah. He said he got it filled out in the chat.
Good. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm sending that same link to Lisa and Jerry. So we're done here.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. See you guys later.